good, y'all, and welcome to my review of this week's episode of Hero Aka Season 7. And man, what an episode this was. But we are finally back. Man, you guys know this, the show took a week off due to the Olympics. The Olympics are finally over, so there should hopefully be no more episode delays. It should be a straight shot from here to episode 21, I believe, is when the season is going to be wrapping up. And I'm assuming the dub will also return this week as well, because it didn't come out last week because, you know, the episode took a week off. But yeah, man, this episode, we finally got to see Gearshift this episode, man, and man, what an episode, man. Like, this is easily my favorite episode of season 7 so far. Arguably, hell, I dare say this is a top 10 episode of the entire series. I know I've said that a few times this season, so, you know, we've had some damn good episodes here. But yeah, man, this was just such a incredible. The animation here was godly, and I gotta give a huge shout out to the man that worked on at least one of the animators that worked on this part of the episode. Jason Yao was a part of this episode as well, and his cut was amazing. But we gotta talk about Kohei Horita, which, no lie, he also actually did that walking animation of Bakugo 2 episodes ago, or it might have been the last one, I don't remember. But you know the one where like the blood fell on the plants, that was him as well, which. That animation there looked amazing as well. Which still, like, but as I was saying anyway, literally when I saw the tweet for that cut from the previous episode, I think it was with Bakugo, and I said Kohei Hori, I was like, hey, yo, they got Horikoshi to like do some animation. For so sad that I thought it was like Horikoshi himself. They got Horikoshi himself on the team when he's actually doing some animating. But no, Kohei Horita. I don't know if he's on Twitter. If I'm gonna ask Fang about that one, man. If he is, I'll definitely leave a link to that down in the description box below. As well, shout out to my man Fang as well. He posted on his Twitter. He did his own he did like a little edit he done of undimming the Gearshift cut. So if you guys want to see it, you know, undimmed somewhat, go there, man. If I remember, I'll leave a link to that tweet down in the description box below so you can see that. He posted some screenshots alongside, so you can really just, you know, enjoy and bask in those those beautiful impact frames, man. You can really look at them. They looked amazing, man. It sucks as shit, goddamn it, because those used to the highlight of the episode, but hey, you know, it is what it is, man. It looked this cut was absolutely just insane. Like, this was definitely a Cube Man, you know, inspired cut. You guys remember from Nakamura from season 4 where he was fighting Overhaul. He had a similar shot where it looked like he was about to deliver divine justice. The similar shot was in this cut as well, man. And yeah, man, seriously. God, the animation is episode 6. So everyone was bitching about the animation, the previous Shigaraki Izuku fight. There you go. There's your saga. You got your good animation this time, man. But anyway, guys, enough jibba jabba. Let's just jump right into the actual episode. So we start the episode off with some recap of what's been of all the different, like, you know, areas and like who's there and everything. Because, you know, it's been a week, you know, but I forgot some details. Although we did get some extra. I'm pretty sure this is new footage that we didn't get before in the last episode with Dabi, where he explains that like right before the ice truck, he took a chance to try to see if he can copy the move that Todoroki just used, and of course, as we saw, you know, he did. He was able to copy it perfectly just from watching it, which is kind of nuts, man. I mean, like, to be fair, Dabi did learn a bunch of different moves just by watching YouTube videos on it, so I guess it shouldn't be that surprising, but like, still, man, the fact that it took Todoroki like a month or however long in order to master this move, and then Dabi learns it in like minutes is kind of nuts just by watching it. But anyway, we get back to Izuku. Obviously, he's trying to get over there, back to UA and everyone to back up. Then we see, of course, see Stars and Stripes boys, her bros, coming there to help out our boy. Which, did anyone else instantly think of the crane scene from 2001 when they saw this, man? Because, like, literally, they come in there, Izuku like latched onto them, and then they're like basically all in like a straight line in front of him for him to like zip through to get there a lot quicker. Like, this looks like this. It looked like it was right out of 2001 with that amazing crane scene from that film. Man, I don't know if it was. We all know Horikoshi today is a massive Marvel fan, so it wouldn't surprise me, man. But yeah, you guys know if you follow me on Twitter, I tweet about it and say like, "I see you, Horikoshi." I say, "You ain't sick. I see you." Like I said, I might be reaching with that one, but I don't know, man. Like the second I saw that scene, I instantly instantly thought of that scene from Taz 1. But anyway, he rushes through there. We get back over there with Mirio and his Peachy Keen, which actually, after the episode came out, I don't think I ever mentioned this in my review because I usually don't really check Twitter till like after I finish recording the review, just because I want to get started on it and not really look at anything else. But sometimes I do, especially if it was like a really insane episode of the animation. I check my Soccer Academia to see who did the cuts, to see who we can figure out who did what cuts or whatnot. But anyway, I found out that actually the director of last week's episode mentioned that Muriel's ass was a very high priority for the team for that episode. To make it, that was definitely the priority part of the episode, which I just thought was funny that they they even made I forget, they made some new animation technique or style or something along those lines. They used some new tech to make it look as nice as it does, which I just thought was hilarious. And they put that Mirio's ass in this scene was such a high priority for the team. I just thought that was hilarious, man. But hey, it certainly worked, man. It was definitely a very memorable scene from the previous episode. But anyway, Izuku comes in there, gets in there with his makes his badass entry with the kick, sends Shigaraki over to one of the walls where he gets shocked once again. Izuku's like, all right, hey, is everyone okay? He looks over and of course sees Bakugo's lifeless corpse, on the floor, which I also got to say, massive shout out to the episode director for this episode, Tomo Okobo, if I'm pronouncing his name right, which I think he did the previous episode. If not, that was the episode before that. But either way, he did an episode before this, and I was singing his praises there too as well. But yeah, his directing right here, man, shock. Cause from here, as soon as Izuku sees the corpse, music, all audio's gone. All you can hear is Izuku hyperventilating right now as he sees, oh my god, my childhood friend is dead. And just the shock in his face, man. The key animation here looked amazing as well, man. And shout out to Daiki as well. His performance here was fantastic. I'm very excited to see Justin's version of this scene when the dub of this scene airs, man. Whenever, in probably 2 weeks from now. But yeah, this whole this was this whole part of the episode was beautifully directed, I must say, man. With all the audio going down, minus Izuku, man. It's easy to see the destruction that Shigaraki led with Mirio, Tamaki, Nejire, and of course Bakugo, man. We also see we also get close on his card, and yeah, it's covered in blood, it's wrinkled. That card is completely useless now. It has lost all value. But then again, it is Bakugo's card, man, and probably once it goes to Europe, probably still have value to it, man. Oh yes, this was Bakugo's card when he fought Shigaraki. So maybe they'll keep its value. If not, maybe not up it just because it's Bakugo's card. But anyway, man. So at this point, man, Shigaraki's like, oh, what do you think of the press I sent you, man? Why don't you avoid taking responsibility like the other guys? And Izuku, he's freaking out during this, man. And then his corks just start going off like crazy. He sees Blackwood going everywhere, the smoke screen going in there. While Mirio comes in and tells him, hey, everything's okay. Edshaw's going to save him, man. It's okay, man. And he mentions how the other ones are still breathing, and he will succeed saving Bakugo, man. Everything is going to be okay. We haven't lost a single thing yet. Well, minus Mirio's arm. Or Mirko's arm. And then we cut over to, I think, a flashback, but I don't know if this was ever actually in an episode, where All Might tells Izuku, lip service, that's just fine. We're the ones risking our lives to make that a reality. And then we see the part with Stars' boy saying that our little sister bet on you guys. And then we get over with Jimbo, I believe is the dude, the fifth guy. With Black, I think his name was Jimbo. But he says anger is a source of power, but that's why you need to be you need to control really carefully. What's important is controlling your heart, and that's what Izuku finally relaxes, and they start just hitting his chest. I'm assuming because he's trying to control his heart. All right, slow down there, you bastard. I don't know what else he would just start hitting his chest. Yeah, this is probably just me. But anyone else think of the scene from Wall Street? The anyone else think of that scene? I don't know, man. I watched too many fucking movies. So now Izuku's ready to go, man. We see him, man. We see the spirits of the other users of One For All behind him, man. I've seen the manga. I've seen this manga panel many times, man. It looks incredible in the anime, man. This shit goes fucking hard, bruh. And Izuku asking if Shigaraki is still in there. And Shigaraki says that person isn't here anymore. The two have completely melted. And then I'm genuinely wondering, because this happens 2 times in the episode. I do wonder if this is meant to be some kind of aliens reference, because you guys guys know, Horikoshi Sensei is a massive horror fan, and he obviously enjoys, he's obviously a massive fan of Star Wars, so he obviously loves sci-fi as well. So like, I do wonder if this is meant to be an alien reference with like the chest bursters. I don't know if it is, but this reminded me a lot of like chest bursters, man. And we got Alien Romulus coming out. I think it's already out I think it came out this week is when it's out, man. Hopefully I'll be able to catch it in theaters maybe next week or something, man, but you know, who knows? You know, who knows? We're moving right now, so I don't know if we'll have the time to go catch the film, but hopefully we do, man. But yeah, we see Shigaraki like come out of All For One's chest, and then All For One just pushes him back in there, man. And then we actually see like Shigaraki, the current Shigaraki, kind of like put his hand on his chest, like almost like he's putting it down on him as well. And then Mirio comes in there saying that it doesn't look like the two have melted together, and he mentions, of course, what happened when he told him about like you have no friends. And then Tenko showed up for him and said, "Yes, I do. Miku, and Tomo said I was nice, and Mom wanted to go walk something. I do too have friends," which Eric Vale did an amazing job here as well. I was really curious how he was going to perform this in the dub, man, but he sounded amazing here. And I mentioned that the more that they attacked him, the more it seemed like he got more and more unstable. And then All For One's All Might's mentor, Nina, sees a face of somebody, of one of like the figures on like the hands of Shigaraki. Like, I know that like on his hand it like formed the faces of I think his various family members, and I think this is supposed to be his dad. I'm not too sure who this guy was. I couldn't get a clear look at the face. But whoever it was, it made Nana think that Shigaraki was still in there, man. Like I said, I'm not sure whose face that was supposed to be. If you guys know, please leave it down below in the comments. But, yeah. So then he just leaps up into the air, so much so that it actually makes the whole, like a whole coffin in the sky thing, like, straight up dip. It should go down a little bit. It doesn't cause it to, like, fall down completely, but, like, it definitely drops down a lot from where it was. Like, you get to see, May like you get to like float up in the air in 0 G's or whatever. So yeah, and of course, and the music here. Also, I have to say the music playing this episode was fantastic. The music was playing during the scene with Mirio, right before when he finally came back up. That song was made in this song. This was just, I'm pretty sure this song was, yeah, this song was from season 6 as well. During the actual like Gearshift fight. Look, both songs were both fantastic. The music in this episode, man, was fantastic, man. And I'm pretty sure the track that was playing before the season 6 track wasn't in the season 7 soundtrack, at least the preview they get. So hopefully we do eventually get a full season 7 soundtrack. Because we never got one for season 6. We got like one that had a handful song, and then another one that had a bunch of tracks from season 5 with it. We didn't get a straight up season 7 or season 6 album that just had all the new tracks just on it by itself. Hopefully we get there for season 7, because I'm pretty sure this track wasn't the soundtrack that released earlier this year that had a bunch of the season 7 tracks on it. So hopefully this song is we eventually get a full season 7 track with this track on there. Or maybe this was another old track from a previous season. I don't know, man. Either way, the song sounded fantastic. So anyway, we get to the fight itself. Shigaraki charges towards Izuku and he blocks it, and then he uses Fajin with Black Whip, and to wrap chains around called Black Chain with like I said, Black Whip with Fajin, and it just starts slamming him into the wall. Man, the look of this looked amazing, by the way, man. I like that it actually looked like chains as well. I mean, as a wise man once said, kids love chains, man. you could like I don't know if this was done on purpose, but like there's definitely some bits of where you can see that like 90s comics inspiration completely into Hero Walker sometimes, and this feels like this might have been one of them, man, because you know, chains were very popular in the 90s, especially with like Spawn or something like that. So yeah. Anyway, man, like I said, it looked absolutely amazing. And Shigarok's like, oh, just doesn't matter, you boosted. You're not gonna be able to use that same trick on me twice. And he's just like, and then Izuku pops out of nowhere. He's like, oh shit. And then that's when the second user, which I don't think, do we actually ever get his name? Because in the commercial cards we see his render, and it just says second one for all. We don't even get his name, but I'm pretty sure we do know his name, and I'm just forgetting it. But you know, whatever, man. The second All For One user, man. Like, it's kind of where he didn't get his own name during the first card. But anyway, the second All For One user, who you guys know, is voiced by Gotoro, which he sounded amazing this episode, man. I'm definitely excited to see how this will sound with the dubcast, man. And, yeah, he sounded amazing this episode, man. He says once you use it, it's over. If you don't defeat him within 5 minutes, the world is lost. And then that's when Izuku finally uses Gearshift. And I love the sound effect they use as Izuku, like, moves his arm around to activate, man. Oh, it sounded amazing, man. And then he finally literally speeds over. He's like, next thing you know, he's like right in front of Shigaraki, and then just starts pounding his chest, man. Second gear, third gear, and then top gear before setting him all the way up to the sky, man. Like, to the roof of the place, man. Ugh. Yeah, this was so, and then he like then he like appears behind him using Gearshift again. I love the after images they used for man. Like I said, the animation this episode, man, was absolutely spectacular, man. And then we get to the big money moment where we found that not only where this cut just looked amazing in just in general, man. Like I said, this was the Horika cut, which, like I said, amazing anime, man. Apparently, he was actually like a follower of Nakamura as well. I don't know if he was like trained under him or he's just a big fan of his work, man. But you could definitely see the Nakamura influences in this cut of the episode, man. But yeah, but besides this cut just look absolutely spectacular. We also find out that Izuku is using 120% of 100% of One For All for this punch, man. It's it's absolutely just insane, man. Like this, and then. Like I said, the sound design here was fantastic, man. The cut itself is absolutely legendary, man. And the impact frames. Oh my god. Bro, the impact frames for this, man. I love the 3D tracking stuff they do spinning around Izuku right before he lands the attack on him, man. Like, oh my god. Looked absolutely spectacular, man. Seriously, it sucks that this got dimmed, man. Because man, it sucked this got dimmed, man. Because just so you could really appreciate the impact frame. But like I said, Fang posted on Twitter, on his Twitter, like he like undimmed it himself, or at least tried to. And so you can like say if you want to really take a moment to appreciate the impact frames and see this undimmed, which I'm sure will probably look a little bit better once the Blu-ray of this comes out, because it'll be done officially, not done by some dude on Twitter in post. So yeah, you guys want to see it, definitely go check out Fang's tweet. Like I said, I'll leave it in the description box below if I remember to put the tweet in there, man. But yeah, man, this just looked absolutely just spectacular, man. Then we're back with All For One as we get a flashback as he's wondering how is this happening with Gearshift, that his quirk should only be able to touch to show or change the speed of what he touches and to show his work on small objects. As we see All For One holding up the second All For One user, while his face is all bloody, the sky is red, which looks amazing. Like I love the look of the red sky for these flashbacks, man. They look amazing. And actually, something interesting. I don't know if you guys saw this, but like last week or a couple weeks ago, right after the I think it was like right before the manga had ended, right before the final chapter had came out. Viz did an interview with Horikoshi where he actually mentioned that he had like all the backstories for all the previous ones for all users already mapped out in his head, but he has like no plans of like making like special one-shot chapters for any of this or anything, because he rather would leave it up to like the audience interpretation. And he cited G2, which you guys know my all-time favorite film, so based Horikoshi Sensei. But yeah, man, I would love to know the origins of this, man. See more of the second All For One user fighting against All For One and all that jazz, man. Like that would be cool, man. That would be cool. I would like to see how that whole thing go about. And I also like to know why he's crying, because if you guys can see, All For One is crying for some reason, and it's never explained why. Which I would definitely like to know the reason for why that is. But anyway, a last-ditch effort from the second All For One user as he has a shit-eating grin on his face while his like face is covered in blood. He tries to like use one of his weapons to try and take out All For One, but he sees it and like crushes it with the Force or whatever ability he has at this current moment, man. Man, that shit-eating grin on his face, man, is fucking amazing. The key animation of this whole episode, man, was absolutely spectacular. And also, I have to say, having the instrumentals of Yusei Run playing throughout all this, man, oh, spectacular, man. Like, this was such an amazing episode, man. This was such an amazing episode. And then we're back with Izuku and Shigaraki. He's like wondering, like, why can't I see you when you can see like the first and the second All For One users like right behind Izuku. And then we get the whole like his second one for all users, his quirk Gearshift. But this time it's just his Seiyu doing the whole thing, man. And like I said, Gotaro, man, he was fucking awesome. I keep forgetting his Seiyu's name, but he was spectacular this entire episode, man. Like, oh, it was good that he actually got like some good time in the booth this episode, man. Because you guys remember when he was announced in season 6, I was hyped that he was like, yeah, let's go, Gotaro is in Hirohaka, let's go. Because he's like my favorite Seiyu because of Gotaro. I mean, like his performance is iconic as Jotaro in part 3, man. So I was super happy that he got into Hirohaka. But yeah, he sounded amazing this entire episode, man. But anyway, he explains that like before it can only work on small objects, but obviously, of course, with it being side One For All and it being passed down to very field to Izuku, that it now can basically work on a molecular level and Izuku can use it throughout his entire body for this. So then he like charges towards, so then Shigaraki's now down on the ground, man. Like it obviously like destroys it and like crack and like uses a huge crater in the ground, man. Like the tiles from below to like like for like Meihatsu, guys that were underneath that are actually underneath it are like, oh god, not again. Like, I feel bad for them because they got all this debris falling off them, man. While Izuku and Shigaraki are fighting. And so then Izuku hits him with another one for all Detroit Smash. To play, if I'm pronouncing that right, quintuple, I believe how you say it. Is what he said there. And so then at this point, so Shigaraki knows that he's getting his ass beat, man. But he notes that the attack wasn't as strong as it was before. Luckily, because he hadn't stored up, he has the sword and Fajin in there at that point. So he's gonna show that, and from the trajectory he's at, he can still see the angle and the timing of when he's actually going to try. So he goes in there for another attack. He completely misses because Izuku uses Gearshift to basically just stop him in his tracks, man. Like the man could Gearshift looks at physics and mocks it. It looks at momentum and mocks it because he can just like. And basically stopped dead in his tracks that were going at extremely slow speed going into low gear. And then of course, then the second all-for-one user comes back in there saying Gearshift is a change in speed not dependent on its interior. You should know this. And then from here, man, Izuku, man, my Go just goes off here, man, using all the various quirks of One For All in quick succession, using Smoke Screen, Danger Sense, Float, Fajin, all of them at once, man. Like, this looked absolutely just insane, man. Before it finally hits him with one final attack, where we have like these like rainbow ring effects come outside from the coffin in the sky that looks absolutely spectacular, man. It reminded me actually a lot of Nakamura's cut in World's Heroes Mission, because you gotta remember he did a very similar thing for his cut in the movie at the end of the movie, man. It reminded me a lot of that. But yeah, this looked absolutely amazing. Izuku goes right through all his fingers and everything, man. Completely through his armor. So then after that, we are now back inside the White Void with Izuku and Shigaraki. As the second One For All user reminds him, hey man, it ain't done yet. You know, and also the first one goes off of how that Mirio is right, and that all the fighting has been shaking the bouts of their units. I see all this blood just coming out of all for one, man. Like, goddamn, bro, that's a lot of blood, and it's purple too. Which I wonder if they changed it to purple for this for censoring reasons. That's why they changed it to purple, or maybe it's supposed to be red, but the lighting changes it to purple. I didn't know if that was done because of like censoring or not, but I did like find out this little bit of that was purple blood, and it's also where we get to hear the all of Izuku's heavy breathing from the PV. Which you guys remember my reaction was like, wait, what the fuck? What's with the random heavy breathing at the end of the PV? But now they actually have like some other audio over top of it, man, so yeah. As the second user says that you cannot be defeated yet, and as we see, we get a flashback to Nana saying like, hey, do you have the resolve to kill Shigaraki if you must? And of course, we see he's gonna go back to Kitsu, he wants to help him. Or save him, excuse me, rather. And so then once again we once again see something that looks like this pinkish flesh looking thing, like coming like out, like protruding out of Shigaraki's chest. Once again, very similar to chest bursters from Alien. Don't know if that I do wonder if that was meant to be like a nod to Aliens, man, having the chest with the imagery very reminiscent of chest bursters from Alien. But anyway, we end the episode off with Spinner. It is like kaiju form. So yeah, next week we're getting Shoji versus Shigaraki. We're getting Shoji versus Spinner. This is a very anticipated episode for me because like I know that this is a big fight, man. I'm excited to hear Ian Sinclair's version of this because you guys know how great Ian Sinclair is as a voice actor, man. Especially if you've seen Vinland Saga Season 2, man. If you have like me, man, you know Ian Sinclair, man. That man goes off. You know, he is a very, I dare say, almost underrated voice actor, man. He definitely isn't as well known as the likes of J. Michael Tatum, at least in like the broader scale. Like the average of subreddit, they won't shut up about him, but like on the wider scale, he's definitely not on the level of like Justin or like J. Michael Tatum, Clifford, and, you know, those guys in terms of notoriety, man. But he should be, man. He is absolutely incredible. So excited to hear that, man. I've heard a lot of things about this fight, man. So it'll be nice if I know the context behind them. I have some shit takes and some other things, man. So yeah, man, I'm definitely excited for this fight, man. And you bet your ass this and this next episode are going to be getting the double reactions, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, I'm excited for that fight. I'm excited for that episode, man. That is going to be awesome. But anyway, guys, that is working this video off. Overall, I give this episode a 10 out of fucking 10, ladies and gentlemen. As always, hope you guys enjoyed the video. You like if you did, subscribe if you're new. Follow me on social if you feel like it. Links on screen below. And as always, come back for more. See you guys next time.